Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Zach and I am, among other things, a reenactor and a jouster. Now obviously at the moment we don't have many events going on, but one of the major questions that I get asked at events is who made my armour? Now that is about to change. The answer to that's about to change. I'm in the process of commissioning a new harness, and so that got me thinking to maybe make some videos to talk about some of the principles of armour and maybe give a more full answer to that question than I would normally be able to give if someone asked it just in passing at an event. So I'm going to start off with one of the most important pieces of armour, the helmet. Now, I reenact in the 15th century, the late 15th century to be precise, and my harness is of an Italian export, either in northern Italy or southern Germany, in the Tyrol region. So my current sallet is an Italian export style. Now, this, I say current sallet because this was not my first sallet. My first sallet was also in an Italian export style. It was made by a different armourer. This one is made by Roman Tereshenko. The one that I had before was made by St George Armories, Mark Vickers. Both have been made really quite well. The St George one, it's very obvious, you could tell that it's a St George one. He has a particular shape to the way that he does the back of his sallets. Not necessarily a good or a bad thing. If you like that shape, it's great. This one here, like I said, is made by Roman Tereshenko, and basically, having worn the St George one for a while, I realised that what I actually needed was a sallet with a shorter tail. Now, you do see sallets with longer tails. They do give better protection. Obviously, you know, more metal there is going to protect you better. But what I found in wearing it, and wearing it for both foot combat and for riding, is that having the long tail often fouled on my shoulders whenever I had to turn my head left or right, especially if I was having to turn quickly. Now obviously that may be less necessary when you're fighting on foot, but sometimes with the best will in the world your horse will do something that you are not expecting it to do, and you may have to turn your head quickly to not lose sight of your opponent. Obviously when you do that, having your helmet foul on your shoulders is not a good thing, and having it clang really loudly is also not a good thing because that adds to the disorientation. So anyway, having worn this sallet for a few years, I very happily sold it on. I was very confident selling it on because it was a decent sallet, and you know, I would be happy saying to someone, you know, St George is good, good for the money. He's not the most expensive, very much in that kind of mid-tier when it comes to price, reasonable. He tends to not make full reproductions. What he makes is not identical to any particular piece. So you know, going to him with an armour and saying I want this, you may not get it exactly. You will get Mark's version of it, which is fine. That is exactly what armourers did in the period. You know, they weren't making exact reproductions. That wasn't the point. I'll talk a bit more about Mark when it comes to the leg armour, because my leg armour is also from him, and the arm armour because I also had some arm armour from him as well, and the swords. I go to Mark a lot, so I'll talk some more. Anyway, his sallet, it was good. it wasn't what I needed. It wasn't useful for me in what I wanted. So I went to Roman. I like to go to different armourers and I give them one commission to test them out, to see whether or not I want to come back to them. I was very pleased with the Sallet from Roman. It had 2 flaws in it, which are very small flaws. The rivets on the visor were very loose to start with, so just needed peening over a little bit more to tighten them up, so that then the visor stayed up by itself. And also the strap is a little bit too short. Easily fixed, just a bit of extra leather, and that will also be fixed. And in fact, I've not actually fixed that yet because it's such a minor inconvenience. I just haven't got around to doing that. Anyway, really happy with the Sallet from Roman. The shape is beautiful. The tail is nice and clear of my shoulders when I'm wearing it, so I can turn my head without there being any issue. I was happy enough that I went back, and I also purchased a Bevor from Roman. Now, Bevors are things that people often get wrong, in that one of the major things that they get wrong is that they're too big. Bevors very often, most often, are very close to the face. With so many of these things with the 15th century, there was no central governing body. You will always be able to find 1 or 2 examples of something that breaks a rule, but generally Bevors were very close to the face. And so I got this commissioned. It fits very nicely, even without we didn't do a fitting. We live in a different country, so that's really good. And yeah, I'm just really pleased with it. So much so, in fact, when I change my harness, I'm actually keeping the Sallet and Bevor to go with the new harness. So all very good. A few things to think about when it comes to Bevors. Because they're so close, they will need padding. Not much padding, but some padding anyway. What I've actually done with mine is, instead of sewing it to the leather liner, it is pointed, so tied to the leather liner to allow it to be washed more easily. Worth doing. Also worth making sure that you pre-shrink the linen when you make it, so that then when you wash it, it doesn't shrink, and then you end up having to make a new one. Anyway, Bevor, really useful, really happy with it. Like I said, the Sallet needs a longer strap on it, so that then I can wear it in multiple different configurations, because at the moment it's just about long enough for me to wear it without the Bevor or underneath the Bevor. But another way of wearing it is to have the strap go underneath the Bevor, over the Bevor, I should say, and hold the Bevor up into your chin. That's something that I can't do with the strap in its current configuration, so I need to sort that out. So that's something I'll be doing. A few things to watch out for when choosing sallets. One of the big things is the visor should not really go much further up than that. Now, one of the big mistakes that you often see on reproductions is the visor going all the way back and kind of resting on the top of the helmet there. I have yet to see that in any original example. So yeah, it isn't original. It's not necessary. If you have the rivets tightened enough, then it will stay up. I've canted around in this helmet now that the rivets are tightened and the visor doesn't flap, so you can certainly have it raised. One of the things that they often did historically would be to offset the rivets slightly, so that when the visor goes up, it grinds into the metal of the helmet a bit more to keep the visor up. So actually, that lack of movement in the visor is actually historically a plus. Anyway, why am I talking about this? Basically, when you're choosing your helmet, you need to go beyond just, oh, I want an Italian, or I want a German, or I want an English even, if you've been doing more research. What you really need to think about is what you are using your helmet for. Historically, they would use different helmets for different jobs. Like I said, the longer tail on the sallet gives better protection. A shorter one gives better mobility. So think about how much mobility you want, how much protection you need, how much weight you want to carry on your neck, because that's another thing. Another thing that's really important is just making sure you look after your body. You may well be wearing this for a very long time. Yeah, so if you're not really sure about these questions, you can always ask someone that you know and that you trust that's been doing it for a while. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. If you have any questions about jousting or reenacting or my experiences with armour and things like that, feel free to drop a comment below. Likes would be really appreciated. I'm going to be going through the different parts of my armour and my equipment and talking about it in detail, and my thought process in over the years of using it, before then moving on to talking about my new harness and the process that I went through in order to commission that. So thanks for coming, thanks for watching, and I hope this has been helpful for you. Bye bye.